Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm your biased Ranger fan. This is the No Quit in New York podcast. So today is game day. New York Rangers game day. We're versing the Pittsburgh Penguins at home, back to back. The next two games. We lost to Pittsburgh last Sunday. We lost to them. When did we lose to them? December. In December, late December, 3-2, I think. Also, so haven't done good against them this year. Last game was a little bit better in the third period. We stepped it up. Versing a rival like that makes you really want to win, and I think what's going to happen, what already happened, and in the third was they brought our energy up, right? So I think we're gonna really bring it on, and we're gonna make a statement this next two games here. We needed to start winning last game against Washington. We did that. We almost let it slip away, but we didn't. Now we're versing the Pittsburgh Penguins, who I can't stand, but I think it's going to be really good for us. I think it's going to be a good challenge. I think they want to win too. You know, they're in a playoff, they're in a wild card spot, but they don't like the Rangers as much as the Rangers don't like Pittsburgh, right? So they're going to want to take our spot. We can't let them. We seriously cannot let them win these games. We need to win these games, and I think this new combinations with these lines, Mika Zibanejad, Mika Panarin, and Tarasenko first line. That's our first line, Ranger fans. That's our first line, okay? You know what our second line is? The American line. We got Vinny Trocheck, Chris Kreider, and Patrick Kane. The American line right there. And then the third line, the kid line. And then the fourth line, I mean, that's probably the best fourth line in the league. Let's just say it right now. Goudreau, VC, and Mott. That's the best fourth line in the league. The most energy. Probably the most talented offensively, too. They're pretty offensively talented and defensively gifted. So, I mean, I think when all four lines are rolling, I think we found the combinations. I think now it's just a matter of time. Panarin and Tarasenko were playing well before Kane came over, you know. Mika and Tarasenko plays. Tarasenko is fantastic. He's a fantastic player. He's powerful. He doesn't give up on the play. I mean, he really drives the play forward too, out of the zone. He's very good at breaking the puck out. Very good at keeping the play in the zone, and he's very creative. I mean, I don't know what people were saying. He's out of his prime. I don't know. Tarasenko is nasty to me. Honestly, I'd rather try to keep Tarasenko than Kane next year. I just would, because he offers a little more, and he's younger, and he's probably still even cheaper, to be honest. So I'm sorry about that. And I lost my thought. So, but we're not going to pause. We're going to keep going. So exactly. So once these lines keep going and playing a little more, I think we're gonna be on the tier of the expectation. Honestly, I think it's crazy how we were bad. We were so bad, but we were winning games. You know, even though they were in overtime, we were still winning games after those bad losses. After that great winning streak, we were still winning. So the fact that we were playing bad and everyone knew we were playing bad and that the lines haven't connected yet and the new players were over and we were shorthanded and all this mess, all that mess to get Patrick Kane, which I think was worth it, because now, just like Tarasenko had the first couple of games of what's going on here, new system, was part of a team for my entire career, you know, same thing with Kane, and even longer and a little older. So you know, they're both Stanley Cup winning players. They're both very experienced. They're both elite, or have had elite careers. You know, Tarasenko is he does a lot more than scoring. So yeah, I'll put him up there. You know, he's that guy is good. Trocheck and Kreider, man, their connection, for some reason, Kreider just plays. He plays on top of his game more so with Trocheck than I think he does with Zibanejad. Is that weird? I think a lot of times we'll see Kreider and Zibanejad kind of getting a little lazy, kind of gliding out there, kind of like trying to make the defensive play instead of pushing, being aggressive, where Trocheck is kind of just firing on all cylinders at all times, you know? And then that kind of in turn makes Kreider do the same thing, and Kane setting those guys up, man, the American line. I can't wait to see what that line becomes, seriously. Like, they're going to be competing for who's getting called first line, you know? Not that it matters at all. I'm just making a joke, because they're both going to be crazy lines. And I think really what needs to happen here, and this is what I want to make the video mainly on, is I think, and it happened last year in the playoffs where we were kind of flat a little bit against Pittsburgh after the first game because it got stolen from us with the nonsense call. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're not going to go back in time. We won that series. But what happened was the kid line really turned on for us. You know, they came through and they sparked that energy, because that's what they do. They're young, they're energetic, they're creative, in like a new generation way, like where they, you know what I mean? People can't keep up with them. So that line really needs to turn on. Philip Hedl, and it's been a problem. The reason I say this is because it has been a problem. Laffy has been, we all know Laffy's been on, he's reached the next level a little bit. Can he keep it up? Let's hope. Because when Hedl did it, he couldn't keep it up. He stopped. Capo was even shorter. He was up there for a little bit. And then they've been kind of steadily growing with points. But Philip Hedl has, I think, 4 points since February 8th, which was the last day he scored. He scored February 8th, the last time against the Capitals. We lost that game. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was against the Capitals, but he hasn't scored since February 8th. He has 4 assists since then. Capo Caco hasn't scored since February 25th, and he has 1 assist since then. So those guys, I'm not putting the hardships of the team on these guys. I'm absolutely not. What I'm saying is that now that we have these first 2 lines, we will be unstoppable if the third line gets going, or the kid line. I don't even like calling them because they can put up just as many points if they're on it. You know, they are going to be the difference maker. The first overall draft pick, the second overall draft pick, and the 18th overall draft pick. Philip Hedl is 23. I mean, he's been stuck at, and I think it's more of a mental thing because his play hasn't slowed down to nothing. It's not like he's empty space out there. The guy has been firing from everywhere on the rink, you know. Either goalies make good saves, or he just hits the post, or he misses the net by a little, or he's just a little too late getting the shot off, excuse me. But he when he's on, the team wins. We've only lost 3 games this year that when he scored a goal. One of them was in overtime against Toronto. We lost 3-2, and he scored 2 of those goals. So, I mean, he almost won that single-handedly. He almost won that single-handedly, you know. So we've lost 2 games in regulation where Hedl has scored, which means he needs to start scoring more so we can start winning more of these games. And Lafreniere and Capo Caco, man, if they all just do, and we have plenty of time, right? There's no rush. I think Ranger fans, we during that 7-game win streak, we felt invincible, you know, and then losing 4 like shattered that. It wasn't like, oh, we could lose 1 or 2. No, it was like we lost 4. So our confidence, even as fans, were like, oh man, we're not crap anymore. We're this and that. We just got a lot of us got real negative, you know. And I don't think that's okay. I think, you know, it's hockey. It's 82 games. It's an 82-game season in most teams, besides the Boston Bruins, and that's why it's so rare to see that the teams that don't have the drop. You know, we're celebrating that because that never happens. Usually, always, however high you go, you're gonna come back down. You know, it's just hockey. It is what it is. There's no way you can be that consistent 100% of the time unless you're a superstar. That's what superstars are. I think Hedl hit a mental wall at 19 goals, you know. I don't know if it's scary to be a 20-goal scorer. I thought it was a good thing, Hedl. I think we should be motivated to score more, you know. Get to 30. Get to 30, buddy. Don't let the 20 be the mental block. Let 50 be the mental block. Oh, crap, it's 50. That's a lot of goals, you know. But I get it. He's young, and I really think that's all it is. I think it's more of just a mental block of getting past that milestone. And I think once he's not even thinking about it, and the puck just goes in tonight against the Washington Capitals, I think it'll spark the third line too. And then, man, 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, again, not against the Washington Capitals, against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Did I say the Washington Kids? Because he scored last against them. So against the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight, actually score a hat trick tonight. Hopefully, Hedl against the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight, because we really, really, really need to win this game at home with Igor. You know. Keeping Igor out of the Penguins' home rink, I think was a good idea because we didn't want to hear Igor. You know, we didn't want to hear that all game. Pittsburgh fans, it's fun though. It's a fun battle, you know, because I really don't like Pittsburgh. You know, the team at all. We've been rivals since we had Jaromir Jagr. I think that's where it really rookie Crosby, crybaby Crosby against Jaromir Jagr. You know, old Pittsburgh versus young Pittsburgh. You know. Because Jagr wasn't ours, but I loved having him on the team, that Jagr, Straka, Nylander line. But that's where it like really, really heated up with Crosby coming into the league and Jagr on our team. And ever since then, we've lost a lot too. But we beat you guys too. We've had a 3-1 comeback, you know, to go to we've had good pushes here. So it's been good. It's been a good battle. A long, 15 years of battling, you know. And I will say, out of respect, because I don't like Sidney Crosby as a player. You know, I hate versing him. I hate versing Sidney Crosby. But I'm really grateful that I got to see most of his career because he is in our, and Ovechkin, because they are in our division, not just in our conference. Like, I don't get to see a lot of Nathan McKinnon. I don't get to see a lot of Connor McDavid unless I turn on those games. But he's not versing the Rangers that much. So Crosby, Ovechkin, we got to see a lot of. And to see one of if he breaks the record, could you call him the best goal scorer of all time? I don't. Regardless, I saw most of his entire career. You know, Crosby too. We saw them. You know, we saw how good they really are. Crosby is amazing. You know, and you know it. The only thing, the only negative thing I could say about Crosby's game, because it is a part of his game, is the complaining and crying and the diving early on. I don't think he dives anymore. I think he got hurt, you know, and I hate that he got hurt because his career and the season he got hurt on, the point totals were insane, you know. So it's not like, you know, just because we're not on the same doesn't mean we're rooting for anyone to get hurt. We love Sidney Crosby as a human being and what he's done for hockey, all that good stuff, And it's just amazing to see a good hockey player to his caliber, you know, seriously. But versing you sucks, and I want to beat you every time, and I hope we beat you twice in a row coming up. So, you know, I don't think there's anything else to talk about, really. I really want to mainly focus on the kid line, because I do think the dust has settled for Patrick Kane. I think even more time goes on, it's going to be less and less dust, but I think he's going to start turning on already, because that line combination with Trocheck and Kreider is big enough to support Patrick Kane. You can't have two little guys, Patrick Kane and Artemi Panarin, who are the same player, really. Even the same moves. Panarin might have learned a lot of that from Kane, is what I'm starting to see a little bit here. But they're kind of like the same player now, where before maybe on Chicago they weren't. Panarin was young and to be molded, and maybe Kane molded him how he wanted, but then he kind of became that. So I don't know. It just doesn't seem cool to have the same lightweight player that can't really forecheck the way you need on that line, because then it's Mika Zibanejad or Trocheck can, but I'd rather have two guys powerful and one guy setting him up than two guys setting up Trocheck. You know, it just doesn't. It's a good balance. I like what the coach has done with these lines, to be honest. So now I think that first line has Tarasenko to do that forechecking big power man job, and Mika's good at it too. He's long reach, good hockey player, two-way forward all around. And then you got the same thing, Kreider, big guy, forechecking when he wants to. Hopefully he wants to more often, because he's such a big power. It's almost like he's too powerful. He doesn't want to hurt people, so he kind of goes in soft, because when he does go in just a little bit hard, he's wrecking people. I don't get it, but again, with Trocheck, it seems more likely to bring out that physical aggression that Kreider needs to thrive. That's just because he's not a 50-goal scorer. Also, by the way, doesn't mean he's having a bad. The guy's gonna get over 30 goals this year. We have never seen Kreider do that other than last year. So this is a win for Kreider's season. Also, this actually is, you know what, it makes it less of a fluke that he got 50 goals last year. I think he got a lot of power play goals last year. That might have been a little more of a fluke than the 50 goals, because he's going to get 30, and next year he's not getting hurt. You know, he's a big body. I think he could do this for the next couple of years. He can get 30 or 40 next year. Who knows? You know, especially if he's playing with Trocheck, man. And who knows whatever right winger we have next year, you know. Say, just like this year. Last year was the same talk. We have no cap. We're going to lose everybody. It's the panic. And now this year, there's no panic. We actually got more players. We got Patrick Kane and Tarasenko on our team. So, I don't know. I think I trust GM Jury over here, more so than I've trusted Gourds, more so than I've trusted Sather. I don't think anybody trusted Sather passing out the crazy contracts to these old people. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I think we're in good hands moving forward here for the rest of the stretch of the season, and especially in the playoffs, because I think we just need to be motivated to win, and I think Pittsburgh does that, and I think it already sparked that in the third period. We can't lose to Pittsburgh again, and I think these next two wins are really going to, against Pittsburgh, these next two wins against Pittsburgh at home are really going to spark and bring the life into a playoff team, the drive and the motivation to the playoff team. Because this team, the question isn't, are they talented enough? Are they skilled enough? Are they smart enough? Are they good enough? The talent is, can they make it work? I mean, the question is, can they make it work? So I don't even think it's a question anymore. I think you found the lines. You're past the shorthanded nonsense. We still are without Lindgren, though. And I think that matters on defense a lot, especially against a team like Pittsburgh. So what I'm looking for tonight is, hey, Miller, don't pinch as much as you do. You get beat a lot because you step up, and it's not even pinching to make an offensive play. Sometimes you're stepping up too soon. Sometimes you're stepping up to make a defensive play in the wrong time, where you really got to skate back and set yourself and let them trap themselves. You know, take away their ice instead of, take away their ice by skating back, not by skating forward. You know what I mean? Angle yourself a little better because they're coming at you. And you keep getting beat, and you got a great stick and you're tall, but bro, Bro, you're 6'5", man. You're 6'5". How heavy? And if you're not as heavy as you should be, get heavier. Work out. You gotta play the body. Truba's been good. Truba has the most block shots, the most hits, something like that. He's been. You can't say, oh, it's Truba. You can't do it, Keandre, buddy. You're a fantastic hockey player. And when you do step up at the right times, your offensive playmaking abilities are insane. And sometimes I'm like, damn, I wish this kid was just a forward. Because he's so, he would be nasty. I feel like he would be nasty as a forward. But he also has potential as a defenseman. And I think you just need to just settle the play down a little more and be more aggressive in the front of the net because you are big. Actually, Harper does too. Harper needs to be more aggressive. I see Harper now starting to just do the arm thing, pushing people away with his arms. Buddy, you're also 6'6". You're bigger than Miller. I don't want to see when you're out there should be nobody in front of the net. I don't care if they were a nice team that they're not being mean and they're not pushing you guys around. I don't care about any of that. This is your goalie. That is your net. There should be nobody there. I don't care what has happened previous to that game. Push these little guys out of there because everybody is little to you. Shove them, throw them, hit them, cross-check them. I don't care. Get them away from our goalie. That way, mentally, they'll stay away from our goalie, even during the play. Because you're going to be hitting them away from our goalie during the play, too. Because a lot of our goals on Igor are right in front of the net where he can't be scrambling. And, the net is bigger than the goalie. So at some point, there's going to be space to shoot at when you're that close to make a play. He can't be. Come on. Yes, Igor could have been better during some of those stretches. But our defense really needs to keep... As soon as Igor goes down, I want to see nothing but blue sweaters attacking our own net. I don't care because that's when Igor gets in trouble, and that's where we just need to just hit everybody out the way. Old school hockey. Seriously, none of this standing around trying to follow the puck and poke the puck away from the front of the net. What is that? This is what we're seeing here, Ranger fans. Like, come on. We have big defensemen. All of them are big besides Adam Fox. They're all like 6'3". Mikkola is big as heck. Harper is the biggest. Trouba, come on, Trouba. We all know Trouba. Lindgren when he's back, but he's not back, so we have Mikkola in there. Everybody is big. Miller, everybody is big. There is no excuse that we should be so soft in our own defensive zone. Behind the net, in the corners, we should be wrecking people. Our centers need to... Filipino's good at helping out. Actually, I don't know. Trocheck, we have good center depth. Gaudreau, we have good center depth to help us out. I think it's more our wingers that like to break out high, and it's I don't know. I think Kreider's good at it, Tarasenko's good at it. They're right on the hash marks where they need to be for the good breakout, for the safe breakout, because then they can help and pinch in if they need to down low. They need to, or get to the front of the net down low if they need to. So I think it's more of our wingers that are a little soft. Some of them, not all of them, some of them, and sometimes our centers can be soft. So it's not just, it's a team thing, but we could definitely be stronger in our defensive zone. We need to be stronger in our defensive zone, especially when Lindgren is out. It's not time to say, oh, Lindgren's out, whatever. It's Lindgren's out. We need to make up for it. Let him know that he's not going to be let down just because he's let it. You know what I mean? You got to step. The team has to step up for each other. That's what a playoff team does. You can't just rely on the guys who are going to do it. You all got to step up and play for each other. That's where it really comes in from, and that's where they were focused last year, and building the team as a team. We got to come together as a team, and Tarasenko, and that's the whole thing of like new guys coming to your team. Tarasenko had to feel his way into the team. In the lock, these are real people. So even not even speaking. Well, I don't know how good he speaks English. We don't get to hear a lot of him, but Kane, same thing. Like, yeah, you knew a guy 7 years ago, so yeah, you have a way in. But but it's a whole team thing. Just because you were cool with Panarin 7 years ago doesn't mean you gotta just make your way naturally into the team, and that goes off the ice and on the ice. So I don't think I was never worried. I was frustrated because I knew we could play a little better, but it was never scared it was never like, oh, our team is this and that. We're not gonna make it past the first. We have no idea because I don't know what other teams are going through right now either. You know what I mean? Some team could have been winning and in 5 games they could just stop, and they could Carolina could all of a sudden just. I mean, we don't know. We just did it, But there's other teams that have their ups and downs, and you never know who's going to hit their down. If we hit our down early, and now it's nothing but up because we're coming together as a team and coming out of adversity. Then yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that at least. You know what I mean? As long as we show Pittsburgh what's up. Let's show Pittsburgh what's up. We're the New York Rangers, right? We're the New York Ranger fans. We're no quit in New York. That's how we do it. So it's not time to quit. It's nowhere near time to quit. I think we're just getting started. And I think we're going to finish strong in the regular season. And I look forward to the playoffs. So Kid Line, step it up again tonight against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Heedle, you got to start scoring, buddy. Get over that mental block, whatever you're going through. Capo too. He shines when you shine. Heedle, Lafreniere is doing good. I hope that end. I hope they could just put it all together again. So that's it from me. I'm your biased Ranger fan again. Like, subscribe, share, do what you got to do. If you liked it, if not, whatever. No quit in New York. Let's go Rangers.